talked about how a price change of a good can change the quantity supplied or quantity demanded, and how we measure the sensitivity of that through using price and demand elasticities. But we can also think about how sensitive demand is for a good if the consumer's income has changed. There are a lot of instances where that can be, a very important question of how sensitive people, or how people will change what they buy as their income goes up. Well, economists have a conception or a concept that is used for that, which is the income elasticity of demand. It is how the demand for a good will change given a change in income. Now, the particular way that we depict that, so we call EI as the elasticity with respect to income, and so that's just notation, but we depict that as equal to the percentage change in the quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in the income of the consumer. And how someone reacts to that is very much a reflection of the particular desires, tastes, even level of income that we might be addressing. We can rewrite that elasticity as the change in quantity demanded compared to the change in income, and then multiply times I, income, over the quantity demanded. This is at the particular quantity that they are deciding to consume. Now I want to relate that back to a demand curve that we've talked about in different videos. And if you recall, we had the demand curve as being equal to some constant minus a sensitivity of demand with respect to price, and we just kind of left it at that. Well, buried in this intercept, this parameter A, is various things that will shift or change the quantity of this product that's demanded. One of those things is income. So buried inside here, and we can call this, let's call it C times income plus some remaining set of variables D. We could write this demand function in a way that explicitly considered how demand would change for this good if income were to change. So even though we don't usually write that in a demand curve because we're graphing it with price on one axis and quantity on the other, implicitly income is very much part of the decision of how much to buy something. Okay, so given that sort of general background, there are a few different ways that we cut and slice elasticity, income elasticities of demand to describe a good. So let's talk about the first one, which is if the elasticity of income, the elasticity of demand is positive. What that means is, so let's go back to the definition. So income is positive, okay, that's by definition that's positive. Quantity demand is positive. What would determine whether or not this expression is positive or not is whether or not this aspect is positive or negative. If the quantity demanded for a product goes up when your income goes up, that's what economists will call a normal good. And it's kind of your standard good. You get more income, you want to buy more of it. Okay, that's fine. There could be some products where as your income goes up, you actually don't, you want less of it, okay, where this part is negative. So if it's really what we call an inferior good, which means that, you give me more income, I'm not gonna eat ramen noodles anymore. It's like after a certain point, I want to have, fine Italian pasta or whatever. Okay, there could be situations where as your income goes up, you want to buy less of it, and that is depicted as an income elasticity of demand, which is negative. Now, it should be clear for different levels of income, how much more you buy of something is going to depend on your level of income. Maybe for, if you're earning a minimum wage and you get a raise, you're going to buy more ramen noodles. So it would be a normal good for low levels of income. You want to buy more of it if your income goes up. But if you're making $100,000 a year, or $200,000 a year, or $500,000 a year, you're going to buy less of it. Okay. So the nature of the good, whether or not it's inferior or normal, depend on your level of income in many instances. Now, among the normal goods, we can divide this up even more finely. If the income elasticity is greater than 1, that's what's called a luxury good. You give me more income, 2% more of income, and I'm going to buy 4% more of this good. I can now afford this, and as my income gets higher and higher and higher, then I'm going to buy even more of this. So this is a particularly nice good. It's a luxury, and you only will start to buy more of this when your income goes up. It could be that the income elasticity of demand is between 0 and 1. It's not an inferior good. Okay? You will buy more of it, but you don't buy, in percentage terms, more of it than your income rises. This is what's called a necessity good. So this income elasticity is a way to describe consumer behavior and reactions to differences in income and what they decide to buy. So a very useful way to think about different types of goods. And as individual consumers' income changes, how much they decide to buy of a good can change. And this income elasticity of demand is a way to measure that relationship.